Welcome back, everybody. We're here for Game 2 of the WPC Dota 2 League, or the Ace Dota 2 League. It's called the WPC. I'm still confused as to how it's meant to be.
WPC Ace Dota 2 League.
Okay, all right. Dota 2 Dota TV ticket. It won't lie. So it's the WPC Ace Dota 2 League. IG versus LG International. I'm God. Streaming is Luminous. How are we doing?
We're doing great. I'm doing great at least.
Turn to pick.
Especially now we see a second pick Outer Titan. Cool.
All right. IG.
Cool.
We've not actually seen IG use this hero yet. I don't believe. I think we've seen it from DK. We've seen a lot of it from LGD as well as VG Gaming, but I don't think we've seen IG run the Elder Titan just yet. But this is a top tier pick in the Chinese scene right now, and it was back in the Dota 1 scene, and it still is here in Dota 2.
So it seems like Elder Titan is their offlane specialist against Trilings for the fact that he spams Astrals and question mark. What happens then?
He scouts. He doesn't really die.
Okay.
He can do a lot with minimal farm and minimal levels.
I seen Ice stay at level 1 in that game against DK.
Yeah.
Till 5-6 minutes into the game. So I still
didn't seem to matter.
It didn't seem to matter because other things happened. Yeah. But
and his aura is just so great in the mid to late game. So once you do get those levels, you take it later on and you can offer your team so much. And that's something that, once again, you don't need items on this hero.
But the big issue that at least I find with this hero is that if the other team decides to 1v1 you, like they go Triling versus Triling, they do offensive lane for example, and then they say, here's Weaver versus Elder Titan. That's where Elder Titan, I mean, he does okay in that 1v1. He hits for 80 damage, which is insane with the Astro. Yeah. At the same time, he doesn't win the lane.
Yeah, you have to kind of mix up the way you play it, go for like a different item build even. It's not really played the same way as that sort of off-lane hero versus Triling. And I think there's some heroes you can exploit putting in that 1v1 matchup, like put a lone druid against an Elder Titan would probably crush him as well. And that's something we haven't really seen teams try and do too much yet against these Elder Titan picks, which I think should be done more because it's something that can be punished and exploited.
Well, do you want to go offensive Triling against the Visage this game? I don't think this is the game to actually do it on.
Probably not, no.
Yeah.
It's tough to do so.
Yeah, and I just see Elder Titan in this game is going to be very well positioned. In fact, that there's Naga Illusions running around, there's Treant's Prophet running around, and Astro is at least going to give him, beyond scouting, beyond damage, beyond, all of that nice stuff and stomps. He is going to give himself a ton of right-click damage, and I feel that everybody sees Elder Titan as an AoE nuker. He can right-click extremely hard as well, and I want people to not really forget about that. In fact,
it's not really by any means his primary role.
It's not, but it's just like a nice. It's like a nice added benefit.
Yeah,
and he's running in, he's right-clicking, he's hitting as hard as a carry would with 3-4 items. I don't see why that's some superfluous non-factor. I think it's a big part of the hero. Okay.
I don't agree, but I'm not gonna. I'm too tired to argue.
Okay.
I think putting Elder Titan on carry levels for sure, in theory, yes, but he doesn't actually right click that often. He's always standing so far away from the actual action.
Yeah, at the beginning he is, and then after he hits his nukes, he's walking in.
I think if we check all the recent Elder Titan games and how much actual physical damage he's outputting, it would be.
You'll be impressed.
I think you'd be very surprised by how little it is.
Okay.
Fights are not won by. Have never been won by an Elder Titan right click.
You'll be surprised. You see this game. By the way, that was a good shot of LGD International. Black hovering over the rest of his teammate like Supreme Overlord.
10 seconds remaining.
And LG International, this is like your alliance style draft. They love the Naga Siren early. You have your Nature's Prophet for the offlane picked up nice and early. IG though, what they've got is just tanky frontline heroes. They get a DK for the middle lane, and this also gives them a really strong mid game team fight and push. DK is one of those heroes which, to me, is just so fantastic in almost all sort of early to mid game lineups. Yeah, I really like DK and Elder Titan kind of working together because the Dragon Tower sets up a very easy stomp Earth Splitter combo. So if there's a very high priority target that you want to just lock down and focus, this is the two pair that you want to do. And again, the tanky front line is very hard to actually go against. Naga Siren does do okay with things like Riptide and Snare and whatnot, but we'll see how this draft is going to proceed. It really, when you have these two heroes on the map, it also really forces LGN to pick somewhat of tankier supports. I say that they're going to go straight into Crystal Maiden, so yeah, it does sort of help them zone out the Elder Titan as far as he goes in the offlane and maybe give him some just a really powerful early game, which is where they want to go with this. But depending on it, I mean, Black kind of is your traditional hard carry player, so we're unlikely to see him go for a too aggressive of an early game carry. Maybe an Alchemist, if you want some early game aggression combined with the late game carry potential. But
10 seconds remaining.
This is a really interesting draft in the sense that Nature's Prophet is
5
going to go in the
seconds
off lane.
remaining.
Yep.
You know that Naga and Crystal Maiden is going to be playing in lane support. They are decent. In fact, they're really,
Reserve
really good
time.
gankers on the mid lane, so you could take advantage of that DK and maybe punish him there. I wonder what LGD.int is going to be playing in terms of the style of the two support. Is it going to be double roam, which they have been extremely famous for? Or is it going to be the more, hey, let's stand in lane and make sure that Black gets farmed, that kind of stuff?
International's turn
We'll have to see.
pick.
yeah, I think it would depend a little bit as far as what hero Black is actually going to be on. If he's just fine in a 1v1 matchup against Elder Titan, maybe after like just gets supported for the first couple levels, so he gets like a level advantage and a farm advantage in the 1v1 matchup, then the supports can start roaming around. Try and kill the DK fairly early on. IG though, they'll read that. They'll know when those supports go off the lane and have the Shadow Demon backing up the DK at the
10
mid lane with some
seconds
defensive
remaining.
disruptions should they be needed.
Yeah, IG is just looking for
5
tanky
seconds
supports,
remaining.
tanky heroes overall, and it's gonna be the same issue that we kind of pronounced in game number
Reserve
1. Where's
time.
damage gonna ultimately come from? They have decent AOE supports damage from Riptide, Nova, and things of that nature. Wrath of Nature is gonna be a big deal as well. But beyond that, they're gonna have to pick up heroes that do a ton in the mid game. So I think Timbersaw would be pretty decent here. Pure damage is, where you want to be. If they want to go something like a little bit non-traditional, go with a full minus armor strat. Shadow Fiend is in the pool, Slardar is in the pool. I think Slardar actually would be,
Starter solo mid.
well, maybe not so good against the Shadow Demon. Take that back.
10 seconds remaining.
They're gonna
Go
go Puck
Puck.
now. You're more stable option. So
IG's
Pyke are gonna be
turn
playing a
to
solo
ban.
mid. Puck against DK. DK does just fine. There's no real concerns for him. At the same time, Puck, while he doesn't win this lane convincingly, he's a hero who just wants to get his early levels, get his early farm, then look to control the mid game momentum, roam around, and just sort of
10
wreak havoc on
seconds
the map.
remaining.
So I don't think either team has an advantage as far as the mid match is concerned.
5
It's just how they
seconds
sort of play it
remaining.
from the 10-minute mark onwards.
Do you have an opinion on who has the advantage on the draft matchup?
Reserve
Like,
time.
who has a
IG,
better draft
I
style?
think I like what IG have done with the just having the tanky frontliners, the Elder Titan, the Dragon Knight, and Visage is just going to obliterate some of these squishy supports. Like
So
CM
how hard?
Nagasaren.
Give me like a score, 10 kills to 3 or some for example. How hard does LGN have to win the early game to be on an even footing walk into that mid game where
I don't
Dragon
think
Knight?
I think it depends on what their last pick is here a bit. If they go for a true like Black late game hard carry or not.
Not an anti-mage,
LGD
apparently.
International's
That
turn
Black
to
anti-mage
ban.
getting banned out.
I was thinking Antimage would be fine because he can actually, once CM Nagasaren just spend the first 3-4 minutes zoning out Elder Titan, they leave Antimage to 1v1 the Elder Titan.
Yeah, Elder Titan is a joke at that point. You just blink up, burn his mana, and
Yeah.
suddenly
10
he's just a big
seconds
melee
remaining.
creep.
I think you'd maybe struggle, not so much a struggle, you wouldn't win the 1v1 matchup right from
5
level 1 if you were
seconds
left
remaining.
alone, but the supports just help him out for a little bit. So I think Antimage is a good smart ban here coming out from IG.
Reserve time.
And they they know Black and are
5
showing some
seconds
respect towards him
remaining.
as well with that ban. But IG themselves need a carry. It's going to be a ban on Mirana. I would even look towards
IG's
something like a
turn to
Morphling
pick.
here for Hao. I mean, something IG
Actually-
used to use for Zhou, but
Hasn't Black been playing very similar to Burning, during TI3 in a sense that he does actually participate in the offensive trialing with his team? We saw Koifa playing that Prophet in the safe lane many times, so this
LGD
Mirana ban,
International's
couldn't have
turn
they
to
used that
pick.
Mirana? Just
Yeah.
go offensive trialing with Black on the Mirana and do some work? We'll
it seems
see.
they're more sold on just the Nature's Prophet offlane, but they could put Nature's Prophet against Elder Titan 1v1.
Yeah, actually that's a fairly bad matchup because you have Treants walking around, right?
Yeah.
The Astral's like, hey,
More damage.
thank you, I'm hitting for 150 now. Where are you at?
IG go Alchemist as their safe lane farmer.
I
so-
mean, this draft
10
is so
seconds
sickening in
remaining.
terms of look at how much HP there is on the front line.
Yep.
And you have at the end of the day on the other
5
side you have a
seconds
Crystal Maiden.
remaining.
All right, this is what we need.
Yeah, they go hard carry. So I think LGD at this point they're not going to be able to dominate the early game laning stage. I see like both teams winning are going to do fine in their safe lane trial lane. Middle lane's going to be a bit of an even wash. So
Well, unless Brax and X Freedom just gank the hell out
Yeah.
of
Yeah,
IG.
yeah. The supports, I would say their movements and decisions in the first 10 minutes is going to
Prepare
decide
for
who gets
battle.
the early game lead.
Okay, let's quickly introduce our teams here. LGD International on the Radiant side. They're down one game in this best of 2 series, so they want to even things up. We're going to see Misery playing that off-lane Nature's Prophet. Brax is going to be handling Naga Siren. Black on his hard-won role Spectre. X-Freedom playing Crystal Maiden. And last but not least, going to be Pycat playing solo mid. Puck looks like he was pulled a little bit of regen from his allies.
All right, well, over on the Dire side, it's going to be Team Invictus Gaming. Did you just introduce LGD, correct?
Yes.
I was just checking. Apparently our stream's not listed on the Dota 2 section on Twitch, but we'll see if we can get that fixed. IG are going to have Faith on the Visage, Banana playing the Shadow Demon, How on the Alchemist, and then we're going to see Ferrari 430 playing the Solo Mid Dragon Knight, and then in the offlane it is going to be YYF on that Elder Titan. Boots first seems to be the way this is played, and that's the other reason you can punish it by going safe lane solo, because Boots, not good in 1v1 matchups, but this is going to be a safe lane trial lane coming out.
Yeah, I forgot which matchup it was. Maybe it was Tongfu versus LGD. We saw a matchup 1v1 yesterday, and Elder Tenant had Boots first, you know, expecting a trialing, but he just straight up got a 1v1, and I don't recall how he did there, but obviously that 450 gold could have gone to regen, could have gone to stats, and it wasn't there.
The battle begins.
All right, well, Treant's coming out here. We'll have to see exactly what Misery tries to do in this offlane with his Treants. Probably going to be look to be as disruptive as possible, block as many pulls as he can, keep these supports busy, as well as keeping vision off them. Are they going to kill this one Treant? They do. So a bit early gold boost going the way of Banana, kills off one Treant. And Treants, actually, they're not blocking the pull. They're going to grab a creep wave here. And this is kind of like the way Nature's Prophet used to be played in the offlane, but
yes,
the recent trend is you spend more time just blocking the pull camp. And I think I don't know. Do you have a preference either way? Because I feel like this is not as good as the sort of just blocking pull camp.
Yeah,
way.
but I mean, look at how is playing this. He blocks his own camp and then pulls a creep wave into the jungle, blocking that one off. So that's onus on the carry player in the lane to make that play, and he did. So very nicely done.
Misses the last hit though.
Yeah, unfortunately, and it looks like the creep is going to go the other direction. But to answer your question, I much prefer blocking the camp myself, because you know that once you go into the mid game, these 3 cores for IG side is going to be so hard to bring down. And I think the weak link here in this draft, if there is one, is the support. If they're under level, they're not going to be able to do as much for the team. For example, not having level 6 on the Visage will hurt. But by leaving the pulls unblocked like this, they could actually gain some, very precious early game levels.
Well, LGD going to pick up a very early smoke on the Crystal Main. Actually going to just send out the courier to bring it out to lane. So Pycat, he's not going to have a fast bot. Well, I guess he doesn't have enough gold for the bottle regardless. And we may see that CM Naga go very early, rotate around and try kill Ferrari 430 in the middle lane. If not, they're looking for a smoke wrap around and catch YYF from behind. But I think they'd rather get the kill in the middle lane.
Yeah, I mean, to get that kill in the mid lane, Pycat's going to have to do a ton of harass, which he's trying to do. It looks like these 2 smoke has gone for a pull and immediate into the smoke. This is a very good tactic, because generally when you make that pull, a lot of the other team expect you to, slow down there, farm that pull a little bit. So DK might think that he knows where the Crystal Maiden is, but he really does not. Here comes that smoke rotation. Yeah,
because often it's the offlaners do to say, hey, the supports are pulling or not, because he can tell based on the creep equilibrium if there's a pull going on. So if there's a pull going on, in theory the supports aren't smoke ganking mid, but well, they're going to wrap around, and 430 is full HP, full mana, and
yeah, and he's going back to his tower, so perhaps the creep equilibrium not exactly where they need to be, and 430 should be okay. The smoke running out fairly soon. Yeah, it's out by now. And the courier, I don't think he's going to scout any of these guys incoming, but 430 should be absolutely fine.
Yeah, the creep wave's still in a perfect position for this smoke gank not even to work. So LGD are wasting a ton of time here. They get pinged. I think Freedom actually maybe just too much on the low ground here. He gets scouted out, and well, Ferrari knows exactly what's going on here at the middle lane.
Yeah, Brax often say that the first gank with the smoke Crystal Maiden matters so much, because this hero predominantly early game is a ganker, and she falls off fairly quickly as a support. Doesn't really have a true lockdown spell. The Frostbite not exactly stopping other people from casting spells in the mid game, so those ganks not really helping out, and it's going to be IG pushing up top, or at least pressuring a little bit in that tower.
Yep, well, with this, Elder Titan is going to pretty much get all the experience he wants at bottom lane. He doesn't have to worry about getting completely pushed out of this lane. They see the Naga Siren top. It's just a Crystal Main who's going to be doing some zoning at bottom, and the lane's actually been pushed out a decent amount, so Elder Titan, he's getting experience. He's even contesting for some farm here.
Yeah, it's fine here. I think what you want out of this draft, as we see, Spectre getting closer and closer to level 6, is that once that Spectre hits level 6, you just go for a Haunt Gank. Look at the build that he's going to go for. Max Desolate, which is the build that a lot of Chinese teams have never actually even played against, I imagine, because the traditional Spectre build in China is maxed at Spectral Dagger, so we're really going to see a ton of pure damage output. Also like to point out, look at what Black's doing here. Drops this Quelling Blade under the tower. Having that extra damage is actually not good, as it often makes you miss last hits under the tower. He does miss a couple though, unfortunately.
Yeah. Tower min-max damage not always working in your favor. And Black knows that better than any carry player with the way he plays safe lane farmers. And he's doing just fine here. We'll probably see him pick up an early phase boost. He does go for a second point in Spectral Dagger, so he's not entirely maxing the Desolate, but does have the 2 points early on. Something, though, that IG have shown they want to do is pressure that tier 1 tower nice and early if they can get the chance to do so. Nagasaren's left the top lane now, goes actually into the jungle, so Brax just trying to get some experience and farm for himself there. And, well, Nature's Prophet alone does need to be careful, because that push is sort of something IG want to try and do at this top lane.
Yeah, and they have to do it before Crystal Maiden gets herself a Teleport Scroll and Boots. And they also have to do it before Spectre Kit 6, because I can envision a Nova, a Haunt comes in, you know, Nagasaki, Riptide, and suddenly things go very hairy for LGD, or for IG. So I don't think, you know, all of those stuff are coming true anytime soon. Black, you know, is hitting level 6, and unfortunately Crystal Maiden a little bit behind. She's trying to get herself level 3 by jungling, but not having such luck.
Elder Titan up to level 4 also has his Soul Ring. Hasn't brought it out just yet, but he's got the money for it to go with his boot, so he's doing just fine on this offlane. And we haven't really seen these supports achieve too much on the LGD side. Are they going to look for another smoke gank? Because right now, just going for pulls, like you said, they're kind of under leveled. They're only just hitting level 3 now. It feels like they're not achieving a whole lot. Elder Titan comes in. I think he actually took that Centaur.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did.
Oh.
Well,
nice little pickups. And that's the other fantastic thing you can do as Elder Titan is disrupt these pulls.
Top lane, the push is slowly going to come in. We do see a 5-minute hand of Midas from Tongfu, or from Hao. And looks like we're going to at least threat initiation. Misery's got to be very careful about
they've got disrupt.
Here comes the puck, and there is going to be the Haunt coming in very soon. Dreamcore's going to be on 2, the Haunt's going to be on top, and Hao's going to be the first one to drop. They are going to drop First Blood, that's going to be on Puck. Faith TP's back out. The Coil Break not doing enough damage. Faith dropping low enough, but that's exactly what they want. Maybe Spectre didn't even need a TP in. He's kind of stranded out here, and he's going to walk back to base and TP back. But Crystal Maiden says, yes, for experience, guys.
Well, it's the First Blood, so it's worth, I guess, all the rotations there, but it's still an expensive First Blood. Like a Puck TP, multiple TPs, as well as a Spectre Haunt and Relocate. So this is time Black is not in lane, it isn't farming. It's going to slow down any of his item progression here. So I think for IG, they'll look at that and say, look, they committed a ton to that. They planned that out from the get-go as far as once Spectre gets level 6, we get that kill. And IG, you use this to get Elder Titan some farm and XP at bottom. DK's getting a sort of an empty lane at middle for a bit. So all in all, I think IG aren't going to be too worried about just one kill being given up.
Yeah, especially when you get that kill. It wasn't even on... oh, looks like we're going to have a Spectral Dagger on the bot lane. Teleportation comes in here from Misery as well. The Sprout's going to be there. Let's see if they're going to be getting themselves a second kill. Ensnare is going to allow Black to walk in, and the pair damage output of Black in combination of that Dispersion pick himself another kill. So I guess he made back the goal that he lost by making that teleportation. So very, very, very nicely done. And that shows you the power of LGD's initiation range from their support. Crystal Maiden coming at a 1,100 range. Ensnare, not too bad. More importantly, Misery teleporting in and providing a little bit more focus fire.
Well, Freedom going to suicide to neutrals here, who was down on HP and mana and needed to go back to base regardless. So just saving himself some time.
That's something that needs to be done more in pro games.
Yeah.
I
see certain players, like Envy loves to do it all the time. Whenever he gets low HP mana, will always deny himself to neutrals if possible. But a lot of players do not actually use that trick. They don't want to tarnish their record.
Well, when you're playing support, and the record tarnished by spell.
Alright, well, LGD, the two supports once again grouped up. This time they're going to be sitting around this middle lane. Pykat's got Coil once again, so maybe they look for Ferrari here. He's sitting on just a belt of giant strength as far as HP goes. Could go with a magic wand. So he's actually fairly tanky with 1100 HP. Getting this kill, not going to be easy for LGD.int.
Oh, here comes a gank attempt from LGD, but this ward on the kind of the safe side of the ramp really is going to prevent that from happening. 430 still CSing away. He's losing in the CS ward quite a bit, but that's somewhat to be expected. He's not really bottle crawling as actively. So we're going to see engagement on Hao, and that's the target you want. Is there going to be Haunt? Yes, there is, and well, looks like they're going to get yet another kill.
Yeah, that's the second time Hao's just gone way too deep under these towers. Gets punished by a TP in from Puck and then a Haunt once again. This time, Black doesn't leave the lane. He just offers a Haunt for some support here. He's still farming in this bottom lane. Shadow Demon's rotated bottom, maybe looking for some pressure onto Black here. And Black does need to be a little bit careful. One more hero showing up, and this could be his own death at bottom lane.
Black's working on some next level skill build. Yeah, let's get a point of view everything. One in Desolate, and then one back into Spectral Dagger, and then one back to Desolate. This is not standard, to say the least.
As it stands, LG International, they're up. They've got this 3-1 kill lead, and they are going to go in mid lane. DK gets coiled up. There's an ensnare to follow. Nature's Prophet drops Wrath of Nature, and CM shows up with a Nova. Frostbite. Ferrari going to drop a stun. He's actually still alive. And
yeah, the Storm's going to come in. That's going to deter from any more chasing. Very nicely done from YYF.
Yeah.
He dodged the Illusion Orb, and that, in a sense, made him survive because you can see how low he was. And, well,
the strength threads combined with having multiple magic wand charges there, just giving him the survivability he needed.
yeah, I think Pycat made a mistake. He could have just Illusion Orb after the ensnare comes out, but you know, he just kind of went for it, missed. That's the gank.
And Ferrari gets salved up by a teammate here, going to start chipping on this middle tower. Ultimate form does wear off though, so not going to see too much damage done with too much pressure applied. And I think for IG, like, you go minus on an Alchemist and then you go 0-2, that's going to set you back a lot and make you really regret this minus pickup.
Yeah, and Black, meanwhile, he's got 1-0 and 2 as a score. He's doing quite well with the face boot already finished. He's going to work towards the drums, and then whatever his big item is going to be. I doubt it's going to be Radiance, considering that there is a Shadow Demon. He could basically take that Radiance for his team for free. So we're going to see more of a traditional Spectre, you know, things like Diffuser Blade build. With that said, Shadow Demon's just a really, really good hero against Spectre all over the place. Because if you disrupt the Spectre by herself in the jungle, she kills herself. Desolate damage goes through Illusion, and the Shadow Demon Illusions will have Desolate as well. That's something that Black has to be extremely, extremely careful about.
Yeah. Well, once again, pressure on this top tier 1 tower, and we've seen last time this has gone down. Haunt followed up by a Puck TP, well, Puck TP followed up by a Haunt, and both those two spells are up again. And I think IG have kind of caught on to this and aren't going to commit to too much pressure under the tower.
Yeah, they made 2 tower dives, and I think the first one was like, oh, they could do this. And the second one was like, haven't you learned that they can really kill you under the tower? With things like a Nova, you know, a Dream Core on the first engagement, they really just cannot tower dive. And that's going to be somewhat difficult for IG. I think they're looking to do a little bit of early tower chip damage and then push it down later with Dragonite, but you know, now they're not getting anything.
As nice as this start has been for LGD.int, Shadow Demon's been spending this early game stacking Ancients. There's a giant Ancient stack here waiting for How. Sure, he's 0-2, but as soon as he's got that level 4 Acid and has like his first, if he wants to go Battle Free up kill it, he can. Maybe just wait until DK to hit level 11. Level 11 DK with a Acid from the Alchemist, and they tear apart that Ancient stack.
They do, but that's assuming that IG can find a level 11 right now. I mean,
hey, he's already level 9. He's actually not too far off.
I see a scenario where LGD group up, push a tier 1 tower, and maybe even challenge that Ancient stack. I don't think they're in position or looking to do that, but that's definitely a possibility.
That's all, assuming LGD know about it, which right now there's
it's completely
nothing
unscouted.
Yeah, no sign. LGD don't really have the best group up and push lineup. It seems to me they mostly just want to try and get the most out of each individual lane and basically look for sort of counter ganks. Not so much like, not even counter ganks, but just keeping it under towers when IG go for these tower pushes.
Astro gonna scout things out, walking into trees, sees Sprax, and that's the power of this particular hero. It's basically constant scouting for the team. And they are not gonna push, now seeing a couple of heroes behind those towers. It's a very, very slow game. In theory, that favors the team with the Spectre, but on the other side, it is an Alchemist free farming away with the Hand Mice, despite having 2 death. He's got Phase as well as a Claymore, so he's about 1,200 gold until Shadow Blade. But once that Shadow Blade's up, Black, again, he has to be extremely careful.
Yeah, I think LGD International are actually slightly behind as far as what the game's going to look like in 5 to 10 minutes time with the big Ancient stack, with IG just having, I think their lineup kind of peaks around the 20-minute mark when they get these just generally tanky items up and suddenly aren't just dying to the Puck Coil and a Spectre relocate every single time.
Do they have Song? That's a question. The Song's going to come out here, and they're going to focus on how. I think that's the more valuable target. Wrath of Nature's going to come through, and there is going to be a snare on how. The Han's going to come through, and suddenly, well, looks like Hao's going to get immediately bursted down. Defensive Disruption trying to help him out, but the Sun's going to get lobbed away. He's still going to go down. Naga Siren going to get focused. Oh, what a Stomp's going to come to. Is there going to be Earth Splitter? There's nothing to say. He's out of mana. He does not have a Soul Ring either. Activation at the very least. YYF silenced up. Looking for more of the birds from YYF. Excuse me, Faith. Very well micro.
Oh, Puck needs to be careful. He does get stunned up here. There's going to be an Astral Spirit coming as well as the Stomp. The Stomp doesn't land, but Pycat's still in trouble. One more right click. The Familiars are going to chase down Pycat, and Pycat cannot blink out of this one. He's going to go down to the Familiars. Nicely played by Visage here, and Black needs to be careful as well. Another DK stun could have sealed his fate as well.
How many kills was traded in that engagement?
It was a 3 for 2 in the end.
Okay.
Started off as a 3-for-1 in LGD's favor, but then they got the puck kill as well to round things off.
All right.
Visage not getting experience for that, I believe.
Not too bad. I think Black got 2 of those kills. Yeah, he did. So he just finished his drums. Now he pushed himself up to 1,000 gold. So that's going to be a quick blaze of alacrity. Yeah, I think LGD's on a very good track. I mean, I don't think Spectre is playing that ultra late game carry here. She's playing more of a semi-carry ganker in this case. And it's working out just fine. Every time Haunt comes off cooldown, she's looking to engage more and more.
Okay, and this is like you talk about Spectre as the ultimate late game carry, but yeah, he's being a lot more involved than like his counterpart, the Alchemist. Alchemist spending just more time trying to farm, trying to get his big items up, and well, he's going to start with the Shadow Blade, which is a couple hundred gold away from. But LGD,
if he uses a Midas, he's going to have it.
LGD know this Shadow Blade's coming. They'll prepare for this with Sentry Wards, with Dust, whatever it may be. Ferrari at top lane though, he's got his team a tower here, and he's fine. Yeah, he's fine, and that's the gold for your Shadow Blade. So. Alchemist. He's going to have his Shadow Blade coming out and actually going to start dealing with this big Ancient stack here. Starts dropping the acid and is just going to work away on this and start getting his gold up. He needs to go find a creep to
he's losing 1.9 gold per second. That's value lost, I'm going to tell you that. For not Midasing.
Well, he's going back to lane. Nope, he's going to keep on aciding, unfortunately. He's just a level 2 acid as well, so this is not really the most efficient time to actually be killing this. I guess they want to kill it off so they can start restacking it for the future as well.
No, how? Don't do this. It hurts my agent, so...
Look, you're losing 1.9 gold a second from the Midas, but how much gold are you gaining by killing the Ancients now so you can stack them more later?
I'm just saying, you could get that 190 and then the 190 later because it will be cooling down.
Well, he doesn't kill off the entire Ancient stack.
Alright, there you go.
Yep. Midas.
How?
He took his time.
I'm like, God, this is painful to watch.
Well, IG actually smoked up with this middle lane. It's on their high ground here. Are they going to go for a kill on Black?
Yes, it's going to be a bait on Black. Black needs a perch to the face. Keep in mind that he has buyback. He will be able to come back in the fight
Song
if that's
in 2
what
seconds.
he wants. No song just yet. Black, he's going to die. Where's the buyback from Black? He can use it anytime he wants. Sam's going to come through. They lose it 2 immediately. Earth Splitter's going to come top on Puck. Puck's dropping low. He's going to be fine. There's a song. Coil's going to miss. Yeah.
The timing from IG there was very fortunate. They went on Black with 2 seconds before Naga Siren Song came up, and then Song came up, and he could have actually saved the Spectre, but he got disrupted as Song came up. That was just like impeccable.
Did they just
timing.
write down the timing? I wouldn't put it past IG.
I don't know. They either wrote it down or just got a bit lucky there.
I mean,
as far
this
as
is
when they went
TI2
in.
champions, right?
I don't think it's something you immediately will like write down to the exact second. Though.
I mean, have you seen Eternal Envy?
Well, it's a 3-minute cooldown, so it's definitely worth writing down because that timing on Spectre just they lose that fight. If there's a Song of the Siren up at the start, Spectre only goes down to maybe half HP, and then suddenly, well, LGD and TP and their whole team and just turn that fight around.
Meanwhile, we did see how Shadow blading into the jungle, finding Prophet, and then finding a kill there as well. So, and now they're gonna go back there and clean up this Ancient stack. So that was actually a huge victory, getting a Spectre kill. Ooh, looks like Black wants to haunt and play aggressive. That is just what? No.
Yeah. Maybe I think worried about Roshan there is what the haunt was for.
Okay.
Wanted to scout out Roche. Does realize that there was some Ancient stacking going on. Yeah, Ancient's being pinged now by Brax saying, well, look, they've been spending some time working on this. Misery has got a Shadow Amulet, but we haven't really seen a whole lot from him here. He's trying to be this split-pushing Nature's Prophet, but still no Shadow Blade up.
Yeah, I really think he can't do much. What's going on? Sorry, I heard some interesting noises coming out from the kitchen.
IG, they've evened things up, 6 kills apiece, and they're looking for another smoking. This time Black going to get purged to lead things off here. Song of the Siren is not there, and Brax, he may just go down as well if he's not careful. He gets disrupted. Black is actually going to get out of this with the phase drums being used, so Brax throws his own life away just to help save
Is he?
the
I mean,
Spectre.
there's a grave chill, and
Yeah,
they're going to
DK
say something. So it's actually not too bad. That's a 3-man smoking for a Naga Siren. That doesn't matter at this point. So
They put pressure on Black and do slow down his farm.
That's true. Forces out drum charge. He's going to TP all the way back to base. Look at Black.
IG definitely in a much better position. Meanwhile, mid lane Podcat is going to go and look for a Solicon Banana, but he misses the orb.
That's the second time.
He gets the kill regardless, but he blinked in with a silence, then went for the orb and just whiffed it.
It looks like they're going to come in and try to get a kill. But YYF not going to find that puck.
I definitely favor IG's position right now. Like, killing off the Ancient stack, they're just looking to they're finding a lot of just important kills. They've got the DK who to be sort of like the best setup skill for actually getting kills and taking team fights here. The puck is nice. The Dream Call though is like a once every minute or two that you can use it only. So.
I mean, you talked about it earlier when we had Black joining team fights with Han and getting kills, and it was Kung Fu Hao or IG Hao that was suffering from these ganks. But now it's kind of flipped the situation. It's Hao going into the enemy jungle, farming their camps, shadow blading to find nature prophet kills, and now joining the push. So he's the one that's farming, and Black's the one that's getting ganked. That was 2 ganks in a row against Black. Black survived the second one, but hey, again, like you said, it's pressure on him. He's not farming as well. You know, and even though we said that Black's playing this more semi-carrish Spectre role, like she still needs farm. She's not gonna sit there and win the game for you without farm.
Yeah, and it doesn't feel like we can see him go for a Radiance. It's gonna be too slow, and there's just all these really tanky frontline IG heroes who
there's Shadow Demon Disruption. I think Radiance would be a poor item choice.
Yeah, straight. I think maybe Manta Style's the way you want to go this. I guess Diffusal also kind of hurts against the Shadow Demon Disruption, so Manta Style would maybe be an option, but whatever you go, Black is just gonna have to worry about the Shadow
Tree
Demon
micro
Disruption.
time. Here we go.
Well,
how woe
doesn't matter.
is it?
Oh, Pyket comes in, and Pyket may almost.
No, he's fine.
DK if he gets that stun off. Pyket's not out of this one just yet.
That was not woe Dota.
No. And if Ferrari it was immediately range form stun, Pyket actually dies there almost.
Yeah, probably.
He actually took a second to respond. He's like, wait a second, I can maybe kill you. I've got backup here. Visage is here.
Maybe making some plays.
Dark lose their career. Nature's Prophet being cheeky here in the at the top tier 1 tower. Well, small things is what's going to matter for LGD International moving forward, because right now it seems like they're losing out.
Small things is all they're getting. I can tell you that.
They've got to take every little small victory they can get, because those will gradually start adding up, and that's the only way back in this game. IG can take Roshan at will, and it looks like they're just going to do so right now.
Yeah, there's double BKB up, 1 on Hao, 1 on the Dragon Knight. YYF got his mech, so the 3 cores, Tanky already gets even tankier. And they're going to go straight into the Roshan pit, forces LGD to react. Now they have Haunt, and I'm sure IG is completely aware of the fact that they do have Haunt, but there's no way that Haunt would do anything.
Nagasar can come in a bit faster, but no, not really. You'd have to be, once again, we've seen some great timing from IG, but LG International not going to have any fortune going their way. And, well, Alchemist picks up the Aegis, so he actually hasn't brought out his BKB, so they went for Roshan without even bringing out the Alchemist BKB. That's pretty ballsy from IG.
What is that? That's a Mantis soda. Pushing without your tier 4 items.
Just leave it on Korea.
Shout out to previous KZ.
They're now tagged up as a head KZ. Is that them? I saw it on Dirt 2 Lounge as a head KZ.
They're playing against Alliance today.
So that's next KZ is now renamed to a head KZ?
Still previous. I don't know.
Or,
I'm just
behind KZ.
we're just flaming away because we're professional here.
No. But IG, they're happy to just group up and push now. It kind of comes down to when they pick up. Well, I say they pick up these. They haven't.
Courier's dead.
Yeah, Courier's dead, which is why they don't have the BKB. So.
But I think with the Aegis and Shadow Blade, he's absolutely fine.
In IG's defense, but yeah, he's going to be just fine here. And it is LG International kind of just looking to split push and counter push with this Nature's Prophet at the top lane. But
I mean, that's going to force the TP back. That's okay.
I think IG, yeah, they TP back, they defend the tier 2, and they keep on farming because they don't want to really push and try to go high ground without items like the BKB on Dragon Knight.
Dragon Knight's pretty big deal already at this point here. And in fact, Misery's going to come back. Maybe he realizes
he's got backup.
Okay. In fact, no, Pycat. Don't make this play. Okay, Pycat's just harassing.
We haven't. Pycat got off some really nice early ganks, but since then he's been fairly quiet. Is spending a bit more time farming, trying to build up towards that sheep stick on his part.
I think that's more so IG not actually pushing into towers where Puck could dream for you and initiate with things like Haunt to follow up. So I think that's not really Pycat's fault for not fighting those ganks, but IG's saying, hey, we're not going to let you get those ganks. And they've been passively farming. They're recognizing the fact that once you get multiple BKB up, Puck isn't really a useful hero anymore. So I think IG is just handling the situation correctly, and they're playing well.
Yep. Well, IG, how I imagine starts working on the Assault Crest next, which probably won't be far off. He's already up to 3,000 gold as Alchemist. Ancient's still being stacked as well. So IG just being so efficient with their time.
Are they stacking with the birds? Because I actually haven't seen heroes walking there.
Initially it was the Shadow Demon, but I haven't seen the most recent stack and who did that.
Okay. Maybe it was just Tongfu or Hao stacking for himself.
I feel in general, IG are just getting much better farm distribution. Like within their, like you've got your mech on your offlaner, you've got Visage with starting to build towards an Aghanim Scepter, and just in general, they're just so much more efficient with their stacking and farming of the jungle.
All right, so Hao's got himself a BKB whenever he wants to deliver it, and now he's working on a Hyperstone. He's gonna have Assault Carriers finish very quickly, and after that, I imagine the push is gonna come.
Yeah, and this means Dragonite Ferrari doesn't have to go for the Assault Chris himself. Has gone for the Shadow Blade as mentioned, and well, this is actually a nice item to have against Nature's Prophet because you can catch him by surprise with that Invis initiation and actually maybe kill him as a Dragonite. Probably even look towards a gem pickup fairly soon on maybe the Dragonite or at least someone on this IG squad.
Oh, Black on the ball lane, a little bit of trouble here. Look at the damage output here. The Purge gonna come on top, and Black's dead. The Shadow Blade. Black has been very quiet in the last couple of minutes as well. Again, mostly due
he
to
is going Radiance too. He's picked up a relic, and I guess it has been so quiet, and he's had all this space to farm that he thinks maybe Radiance will work going towards the late game.
I mean, Radiance is one of my favorite item choices in the game entirely, and I always believe that
Pyke gets initiated by a Shadow Blade stun, and he's
fine.
go down.
He's fine. It's okay.
Familiar stun's not going to land, and it looks like he will be okay.
I mean, I believe Radiance is always the right item to go for, even though when it's not, and this is one of those cases not. Where 3 of the cores for IG is, tanky shrink carries, which the 50 damage per second is laughable. You have Shadow Demon that could steal it.
Top tower is under attack.
Yeah, I don't think it's a good item choice.
Alright. Well, we'll see how it works out for Black. He still needs to actually finish farming it. He's still about 1,000 gold away from it, heading towards the bottom lane to try and complete it, but...
Oh man, there's a gem on Banana now. The D-Wards is going to come out, and, well, suddenly Miseries.
Yeah, he's going to be having a tough time as well. He's only got just the Shadow Blade on his Nature's Prophet. Farming decently here, but wants to start looking towards his next item, be it the Orchid or the Hex on Nature's Prophet and Faith. He's going to spot him out here in the jungle, so... Shadow Demon scout. They scout at the gem, I guess, is good news for LG International. They are going to be well aware of the fact there is a gem on the playing field.
I mean, the gem's nice, but it's not too difficult to foresee, Prophet just teleporting in after a chaotic team fight and just pick up Banana and pick up the gem for himself, so it's not too bad. Hao's gonna stun himself in the mid lane, but it's okay. I just like the way that IG's been playing. How many times have we seen Hao actually walk up this ramp and then just start farming on the Radiant jungle? And he's been stacking his Ancient, he's been applying pressure in bot lane, mid lane, and now here comes the push on the mid.
They've got a minute on Aegis, and I think they kind of timed this. They just got the BKB out on Alchemist as well, the Courier respawning, his Assault Crest as well, so they want to push high ground while they've still got this Aegis. And Dire just lost their Courier for a second time. Gee.
It's Prophet, but I don't think IG cares too much. They're like, yeah,
they got their items delivered.
They're gonna just go straight for the racks.
They got to go now if they want to use this Aegis, so 30 seconds and...
Okay, this is a fight, right? If you wait out the Radiance, you go hunt him with... Or, sorry, if you wait out the Aegis and you just go in and hunt Radiance, that's probably their best bet.
Okay. Well, Alchemist going to charge himself into the front lines. DK going to go into the ultimate form here. The tower melting very, very quickly, and, well, LG International, they don't want to engage just yet, especially... They won't engage on Hao regardless because of this Aegis.
I mean, I think you fight now, because once during the fight of the other 8 Radiance...
5 seconds.
Runs out, the stun's gonna go on Black. Got a haunt now. Here comes a song, but the song is not stopping those birds from killing their Raxus.
Aegis gone. Also the Chemical Rage no longer on Hao. They can actually bring him down if they want to, but Elder Titan is ready. He drops the Stomp, gonna hit Pycat. Doesn't really, they're not actually gonna kill Pycat. Does, yeah, phase dodges
but
it.
they have bought enough time where they can just go, ooh, here comes the coil that's gonna be onto 2. No haunt just yet. The bird's gonna come in, the melee Rax is gonna go down, so regardless what's gonna happen, LGD is already lost.
Yeah.
Quite a bit.
The sleep wasn't really used to set up much. There is a split push going out of the top lane. Misery actually gets, I think, the tier 2 tower now.
But
work on the tier 3.
Teleporting very far back, hits out of Viz, and there's going to be a stun on melee for him. Working on Misery. Misery's dropping fast, and Flame Breath.
The stun while the tower was hitting him. That was so well done. Immediate buyback from the Nature's Prophet. Meanwhile, middle lane, there's a clash going on here. Black showing up. He's got the Radiance, but...
Block walks back on the high ground here. Do they have vision? The Stomp's going to come through. They're going to be right-click down. Hao chasing for a bit more. BKB activated, and Brax on the run. He's going to be going down as well.
Yeah, the Familiar is going to give vision that they need for the chase. There's your Astral Spirit coming out. Alchemist just going to chuck a stun out for the kill. And Misery, he bought back. He's split pushing at this bottom lane, but...
Guess who's coming in again?
Oh, no. Deja vu. Any TP's in. One TP in will seal the deal. And there's your TP. It's Visage coming.
Does he have detection?
I think it's the other...
Ooh, the Urn?
It's Shadow Demon who has it.
Flame Breath?
Nope.
No. Okay.
Needed the Shadow Demon. I'm surprised Shadow Demon's holding the gem. It's normally like...
I'm surprised Shadow Demon didn't pass a gem to him as he's TPing.
Yeah.
That could have been worse too.
I think to begin with, Visage, it's slightly more useful having the gem on him. He can deward better with the familiars, and he's much more durable in team fights. But they don't kill Misery there, which is good news for LG International. But bad news is they've lost middle lane. They've lost their Raxes.
Yeah, triple BKB is now out for IG as well. That's YYF picks one up for himself.
Pyket's got a Hex up, but not really enough. You can see that even with a Hex on Puck, they're not able to hold the middle lane.
I mean, unless that Hex becomes an AoE Hex, it doesn't work. Because I guess the best target to kill is YYF, considering that he has the most AoE and the mech for the team. If you kill YYF right from the get-go, then maybe you can kill the Dragon Knight and Alchemist, but I don't know. I feel like the time that you're killing YYF, that's the time you're dying to the rest of the team. And of course, you gotta keep in mind that the Shadow Demon disruption on the playing field, so it's harder to just focus on YYF. I think right now LG is really running out of options. Unless we see this game go very, very ultra late where Spectre gets amazingly fast.
Yeah. And then you've got your dual core Spectre, Nature's Prophet. Nature's Prophet can scale pretty well going towards the late game, get a ton of damage as well. Because I think Black alone is not going to be able to carry this in the late game. But
I have to say though, if Misery goes Hex into over a Refresher Orb, this could be very safe. On double Refresher ult, that does a ton of damage.
I'm not convinced. I think you definitely go damage.
Okay.
I think you can't get away with not going like MKB Daedalus or something along those lines after the Hex.
That's Neo-Lucian Int, man. That's strat. It was the Haunt Radiance with the Acceptor Refresher. It blew
the
up
problem,
like...
well, you use your first Nature's Prophet ultimate, it clears out all the creeps, and then it's like, well, you have nothing to bounce your second Wrath of Nature off. Every time I go refresh Nature's Prophet, it's underwhelming.
Yeah, Black's dead.
Yeah, and that's bad news for LG International. He's got no buyback. Tier 2 tower at top going to take a fall. I think they just keep on pushing, go for this second set of Raxes at the top lane.
One thing that Black is really good at, and something that we, at least I was very impressed when he's playing the Western scene, is that his map awareness generally is very good. He just does not get ganked. But this game, he's getting ganked all over the place. So I'm not sure whether he's just having a custom training playstyle, or he's just making mistakes. Oh, Pycat a little bit too slow on the toggle, but should be fine regardless. But this tower, however, is not.
Yeah, this tower's not. These Raxes, I don't think are. Brax does have a Song of the Siren if he wants to try and use it for some kind of a setup. Spectre does get the gold for a buyback. I think maybe some tower gold somewhere on the map. The tier 3 top tower, I think, actually got destroyed somehow. And well, Rax is still intact here with the Spectre buyback. Then they're being a bit tentative about going in. Disruption goes in. Oh, Black. Caught out in the front lines. He's just going to straight up die here. Song of the Siren used, and he still dies, even with the Song of the Siren.
Just walk straight up to DK, and DK says, okay.
Yeah.
That's the game, right? There's no buyback on Spectre. They're going to just right-click down the Rax. Here comes Pycat trying to delay things. Wrath of Nature to slow things down. That's going to elicit out a mech, and with the mech coming out, and now Misery getting focused. Misery does have buyback as well, but he's buying back for this, and he's not going to get hexed.
I think flat out Dragon is just like one of the best heroes in the game. Well, Dragon Tail is just ridiculous.
Yeah, it is.
It's like better than a Beastmaster. It's like a spammable Beastmaster Roar, essentially. That's how I look at this skill.
Yeah, it really is. That's how we've been comparing
well, assuming you're in range form, it's a Beastmaster Roar, but it's such a nice skill, and DK as a hero, I think, is really showing its true potential.
Unlike lately. A Beastmaster, the way that you could send your Dragon Knight on the front line, the way that he could see your tower and tank, Beastmaster can't do that. Beastmaster going to front line, and he stands there for too long, he dies.
And DK Sun has no animation. Beastmaster actually has to throw the Roar, and you have that little split second to react. So in a lot of ways, it has even benefits over a Beastmaster Roar.
You're gonna see a nerf on this Dragon Tail stuff. I still believe a possible nerf for this is having the level 1 Dragon Tail. Sorry, having Dragon Tail at the level 1 Dragon form to be lower range, and then once you get up to level 16 Dragon, then you get some extra.
Okay. So it's like the DK
makes the early game a little bit weaker. You know?
Yeah. So each little Dragon upgrade gets a longer range. Well, GG gets called. It's no surprises there. IG get the last couple of kills here. LGD International, well, not the start they were hoping for in the WPC, the Ace Dota 2
should be expected because they haven't been practicing.
Yes. They were practicing before they left for China, at least the 4 Western players have been. I'm not sure. They haven't had like an official fit, so they've been practicing with just the 4 of them. But Freedom, the stand-in they're using while in China. And, well, a 2-0 defeat to IG. But IG's been, to me, the most impressive Chinese team as of late, winning pretty convincingly in most of the tournaments they're playing in right now.
Yeah, just showing a different set of versatility in terms of draft. They really like their tanky, and I think that's that's an issue that they had at TI3 where they weren't sure what they're good at. They were just picking random stuff. There was this one match they picked Tinker Lundgren with that Chen push, and there's other match where they pick crazy stuff. But it seems like IG now sticking to the gun, saying, hey, we're drafting three carries and we're drafting tanky ass supports and tanky ass carries, and come at me, that kind of stuff. So good,
Yeah,
IG
it
doing
doesn't
well.
even feel like they had to go for like the hard carry Alchemist. It could have been substituted with another of Hal's Hero. Well, I guess we've seen
Life
the
Stealer,
Gyrocopter or Life Stealer come out.
They get tanky as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a sort of a formula that seems to be working for IG, and this is where they had great success earlier before TI3, before they started slumping, is they found a strategy which worked for them and just kept on applying it. They didn't just sort of stick to what other teams were doing. They did innovate themselves a bit. But a 2-0 victory, a good start for IG. They're going to be sitting up there with LGD at the top as well as DK.
And DK.
Yeah.
Teams that you expect to be at the top.
Yeah, you see the three teams undefeated: DK, IG, LGD. No surprises. Unfortunately, the Vici Gaming and Tongfu, both sort of strong teams in their own right. They're both 0-2, but plenty of games. It's early days.
Early group stages.
Yep.
Don't need to harp on it too much.
We have another match coming up.
What is it?
It's going to be Team Adidas up against Rattlesnake. So two of the teams
WPC Team A?
WPC Team A going to be taking on Rattlesnake in our next match of today. Rattlesnake, of course, bringing over the Southeast Asian talent Johnny from Malaysia. As for Team Adidas, absolutely nothing known about these guys. So this will be a first for us as well as you guys.
Sponsored by shoes.
They've got the Adidas logos on their jerseys, so
yeah, exactly.
they're apparently legit. But we'll take a quick break. When we come back, myself as well as Luminous will be casting our next 2-game series of today, which is going to be Rattlesnake versus Adidas.